hope everybody is getting on well in lockdown and not getting too bored. My garden is looking immaculate at the moment. I've nothing else left to do in it. So I decided I would come in and relive a bit of history. So I've watched the 2017 BoyleSports Irish Grand National, where I rode hot favourite Our Duke. I thought going into the race that he would take plenty of beating, but he hadn't very much experience, so I decided I'd line him up on the wide outside. That's me in the green and white colours, right out on the outside, coming towards the second fence. I had a good chat with Jesse before the race about tactics and what way we were going to ride him. We knew we wanted to ride him prominently, but we also knew, because of his lack of experience, that we decided we wanted him to see plenty of the fences and give him plenty of light. So we've done that. We lined up on the wide outside and got plenty of light over the first three fences. And good thing about Fairyhouse is the first three fences are in a straight line, so you're not giving away too much ground. And now we've settled into a lovely rhythm as you make the first turn up at Ballyhack, and we're there in third place on the outside. Not trapped too wide because we've got a decent enough gallop, and we've got a pretty nice position now. I was very happy when we got to here that with out of 30 runners I was where I was on the track, and in a nice comfort position coming down from Ballyhack the first time. A lot more comfortable than Ger Fox out the back there, and Raz de Marie, his saddle was after slipping, so that was the end of his race before he got to the fourth. Had done plenty of schooling with Our Duke between his last run in Leopardstown, because he was never the most natural jumper in the world. For a big horse, he had plenty of scope, but he was never the most nimble over his fences. So Jesse had done a lot of work on his jumping between his last run in Leopardstown and the BoyleSports Irish Grand National, which came plenty of time. He did a good break between his last run in Leopardstown to Fairyhouse, so he came into the race nice and fresh. Sitting there in third on the outside of Noel Feely on a horse of Anthony Honeyballs. Or Harry Fry's, actually, is what I should have said. He was well supported in the race as well going into the race. So Fletcher's Flyer, he was very well supported going into the race. So I knew I had a horse that was well fancied upsides me. Terrible falls back in the field. Barry Geraghty fell and brought down Paul Townend. Barry actually broke his arm in that fall as well. So we're coming across into the straight the first time, and Our Duke is settled into a lovely rhythm. Couldn't be happier at the moment. Loads of daylight in front of him, getting a good view of all his fences. Got Noel Feely upsides me and Andrew Lynch just in front of me on Henry de Bromhead's horse. So we're going a pretty good gallop into the straight the first time, and three fences in the straight in Fairyhouse, only for the Easter meeting now. Usually all winter they only have two fences in the straight in Fairyhouse, but for the Easter festival they have three now. Makes jumping a bit more of a priority up the straight. So they're on the run now to take them to the middle fence in the straight, and Rogue Angel going along in the lead, merrily a couple of lengths in front of Stellar Notion. It was a little bit close, that one. It did go a little bit right most of the way around, but we were going the right way around for that, so that didn't make any difference. Coming to the last of the circuit to go. Pops that one nicely. Coming past the winning post, everything on the first circuit could not have gone any better if everything went as well on the second circuit. I was fairly happy that I'd win my first BoyleSports Irish Grand National. I'd come close a few times, finished second at Oscar time. I think I rode the favourite for Jesse in it on two or three other occasions as well, and that didn't materialise, but I always thought it was probably one of these races that was going to avoid me. So Fairyhouse, my local racecourse, gets a real good jump with this one. Really happy with that. I was slightly worried that Fairyhouse, the Irish Grand National, might elude me, but after the Cooper family decided with Our Duke that they definitely didn't want to go to Cheltenham, this was the obvious next target for Our Duke. It was the first year the BoyleSports Irish Grand National was up to $500,000 as well, so it was a huge pot, and novices have a fantastic record in the race. So this was the obvious target for him with 11 stone 3 or 11 stone forwards back, can't remember which. Just swinging around from Ballyhack the second time. We've just broken away now. 3 of us have broken a little bit away from the field. Fletcher's flyer on the inside, Noel Feely, Andrew Lynch and myself have just had a little bit of a breakaway. I remember Jessie said to me afterwards she thought I was going too fast, but it just is that, I suppose, the difference when you're riding a grade 1 horse in a handicap. I always felt in my comfort zone, even here when people thought we were going too fast in front. I actually didn't think I was going that quick, because I was riding a graded horse in a handicap as it goes. You know, he's, even with his big weight, he was a class above all these. And that's the last ditch out of the way. Starting to swing across towards 6 from the finish. As I said earlier, Fletcher's Flyer in front of me, and I knew he was well fancied, he was well supported. He's actually a horse I rode for Harry Fry afterwards. So I knew when you've Noel Feely on a fancied one beside you, you're not going too quick. I definitely didn't feel I was going too quick anyway, because I was very, very comfortable. Swinging across now towards the 5th last. They're in 5 furlongs left to go. Gets in a little bit tight to this one. That's where before he probably would have made a mistake, because but Jessie done an awful lot of work on his jumping. Had a cheeky little look behind my legs there. Andrew Lynch actually said to me there then, he said, are we far in front? And I said to him, no. I says, but I will be in a few minutes. Such was the confidence I had that I was going that well. Coming to the 4th last now. Another good jump. Just let him quicken off the bend then as well, because I was very, very confident he'd stay, but I also wanted to have a few lengths up my sleeve that I could organise him if we were meeting the fence wrong. But luckily enough, he meets these 3 fences on pretty good strides. Just able to take my leg off from there and let him pop the 3rd last. Rachel Blackmore now is coming to challenge an abolitionist. Just again squeezing down to the 2nd last, looking for a stride. Meets it spot on. And happy now, give him a squeeze and I'm quicking away to the last. I'll put the race to bed now. I'm just hoping for one more jump. Again, I'm able to sit quiet. I have so much horse underneath me. Let him go in and pop it. And let him gallop away to the line. I can afford to have a look at the big screen. And definitely one of capped off a memorable 2017 for myself and Jessie and the whole team in Commonstown. And to win my first BoyleSports Irish Grand National was truly memorable. A day I'll never forget in racing. Absolutely brilliant. Might get back to doing some gardening now.